Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Jason with JLM Photography, and this is Talk Time episode 13. Episode 13. I don't know if this is the unlucky one or what. This is going to be a shorter episode, and I just wanted to talk about a couple little things. Nothing near and dear, but just kind of something different. What I actually really wanted to do with this one is see if I could get people to give me ideas to talk about. And so that's really kind of where I want to go. I do want to talk about some little toys. I've had a company send me this little smartphone stabilizer, so super cool. I'm going to actually get to test that out. Yes, this is a photography channel, and so when they did reach out, what I told them was, hey, look, I'm a photography channel, not really like a smartphone gimbal type channel. What I can do, though, is I told them that I typically record my videos with the Osmo Pocket 3. And I said, maybe what I'll do is I will record my video that week with this smartphone gimbal and my phone. And I'll give them feedback based off of that. And so the video would actually be all shot and all shot with my phone using this iPhone gimbal. So I think that's going to be kind of fun. Something that's been really cool is, and I've mentioned it again before, is, companies like that sending me stuff. I mean, that's really cool. This is, and I have no idea how to pronounce it, Aoshan. I believe it's a Chinese company. Aoshan, Aochuan. It's a 3-axis gimbal. It's a smartphone holder. This is the Smart X Pro model. And I've used the DJI Osmo Mobiles before, and I do like them. I've kind of gotten away from using the smartphone gimbals just because I really like the Osmo Pocket. I think the Osmo Pocket 3 is absolutely fantastic for what I'm doing and what I'm creating, and it's such a small footprint that it doesn't take up a lot of space. When I really wanted to start doing the YouTube channel, I actually went out and bought an extra Canon EOS R, so that would be my behind the scenes camera. And of course, the sensor in that thing is so much better than the Osmo Pocket 2 that I had at the time, or even now the Osmo Pocket 3. The problem is it's still, it's still a big camera, and I had it on like a DJI Ronin SC gimbal, which I then put on like a light stand or something, and so I didn't fully need the gimbal. The camera was just very cumbersome. Me doing all of this on my own, I was like, man, this is just really hectic. So I kind of got away from using a regular mirrorless camera and went back with the Osmo Pocket. But I don't really need to use the smartphone. Now, one of the reasons that I did decide, though, to use the smartphone gimbal, and I had to step away real quick. I got UPS delivered a new little toy for me, so I'll talk about that in just a second. But one of the reasons that I went ahead and said yes to this smartphone gimbal was because some of the things that I've said in my YouTube channel and on the podcast before, and, where I say, hey, just go for it. If you're thinking of doing something, just go do it. Don't wait for everything to line up correctly or perfectly, because that's not going to happen. So what I thought is if somebody's maybe on the fence with doing a YouTube channel, you have the tools readily available. More than likely you have a smartphone. More than likely you have a good way to actually shoot video. And these little smartphone gimbals are actually quite good. You can easily get some behind the scenes video, vlog type video, whatever you want with your smartphone. And I've actually I really enjoy using these types of little products. They're fun, and they're fun little toys too. You take them on vacation, but my wife doesn't. She says I'm spending money on these excessive selfie sticks, but I think they're really cool and fun to use. But my thought was I could maybe shoot the YouTube video actually with my phone on this smartphone gimbal, and just provide feedback for it and say, hey, if you're on the fence about wanting to create just go spend $150 or $100 on one of these smartphone gimbals and use your phone. You can do it. You don't need everything to line up perfectly. What's really cool is I was interrupted by UPS, and I had bought a new trigger. And so Flashpoint or Godox came out with their new trigger. And so this is the Flashpoint R2 Nano Remote. And it's for Canon specifically. I'm going to unbox it right here, even though you might not even be able to see it. Man, that is tiny. So my trigger for my camera has, I think the buttons have been kind of sticking a little bit. And, I've been needing to actually get a new trigger. And, I saw that they recently came out with this new one. And I'm like, man, let me try that. And so when I went out on a shoot recently and the button just kind of kept sticking and I couldn't actually adjust the power settings on my flash, I was like, all right, now I'm buying this. So $90, there it is. Pretty cool. Nice little package. Yeah, super cool. Toys. I like toys. They're really fun. And so that's kind of what I also would like to talk about is more toys, right? So what are some of the toys that you guys are expecting or wanting this year? I know there are a lot of rumors right now about the R5 Mark II. And so I shoot with the R5 and I absolutely love the camera. I've had it for, I guess, about 3 years. I got it when they announced it. I pre-ordered it and I think I got it maybe in July of 2021. I think that's about right. But anyway, so I've had it for a while, and do I need to replace it? Absolutely not. But something that I've actually heard, and a lot of photographers here is you date the body, with the camera body, and you marry the lenses. And so I've been spending time buying the high-end lenses, knowing that I want to keep my lenses and, those hold their value. But then when it comes to the body, when the new model comes out, I'll either sell mine and use some of that money to the new body, or I will actually keep my R5 as a backup and go with the new one. So, I'm excited about that. Some of the rumors sound interesting. We never know until the camera is actually, announced what some of this stuff is. But, some of the stuff they're talked about, 45 megapixels, kind of retaining that, or it might be 60 megapixels, which I could really care less either way. I think 45 is actually perfect. I don't think you need 60. I think when you get higher than that, you start losing some of the low light capabilities. So I'm excited about that. They do talk about a new focus tracking system on the camera. Maybe it's going to be a stacked sensor. I don't know. The funny thing is I get the camera, I pull it out of the box, I kind of set it up my way, and it's not a whole lot different than default, and I go shoot. I don't like dive into the camera and make all of these custom anything. I have a couple things that I like, and I'm off and running with it. But I am excited about it. I'm excited about a new or a better focusing system. I feel like on the R5, the eye tracking is good, but I feel like sometimes it just jumps around a lot. And one of the reasons is, more than likely, I do shoot backlit often. And so I think that eye tracking has a tendency to struggle finding the eye when your subject is backlit, especially when the sun is real low. And so you're basically shooting at a silhouette. So yeah, I'm not complaining, but I'm complaining. I want it to be better. I want it to track it better. I do love the R5, but I am very much looking for the R5 Mark II. I remember the first full frame camera I got was a R5. Was the Canon 5D, and it was the original 5D. And when I bought it, I think the 5D Mark IV had just been announced, so I got it used. I got it for a fairly good price. I think it was 12 megapixels. As a big old camera, bigger than what I was used to. But I really enjoyed it. I liked the feel of it in my hand. And then I went from that one to Canon 6D, and I really enjoyed the 6D. And then I kept the 6D. I didn't get the 6D Mark II, but when the original Canon EOS R came out, that's when I went from from DSLR to mirrorless, from the 6D to the Canon EOS R. And I really love the R. I think the R is a fantastic portrait camera. It does have blackout, from the EVF to what you're shooting. It does have blackout when you take that shot. It's like, ugh. And that is probably the worst thing about it. The second worst thing is it is slow. It does not shoot fast at all. I think it shoots 4 or 5 frames a second, and that's not really that good. So something that I'm thinking about doing right now, and if you aren't looking at, for me it's Canon, but if you aren't looking for your manufacturer's refurbished sites or refurbished links, I think you're missing out. So right now, Canon actually has the Canon R8, which is a full frame camera. It's a smaller body. It's kind of like the RP, but it's a full frame camera. It's got really good autofocus system, but they've got refurbished bodies right now for like $1,099. So something that I'm thinking about doing is selling my R with the hand grip or battery grip, and using that money towards the R8. That would be a really good travel camera or backup camera, if you will. I don't ever really need a backup, but I also don't always want to take my big camera with me. I'm doing some traveling this year, and I really don't feel like taking the R5. Whatever, something happens, I don't know, but taking a smaller one would be better for me. The Canon EOS R. It's a good camera. I just think that it's got some limitations. But if you're using it strictly for like portraiture or landscape, I think it's fantastic. It's a 30 megapixel sensor. It's really nice, but I think it's a little bit long in the tooth for what I'm doing, and knowing that I would possibly also using this for dance photography while I'm out on a trip. I would want something that's going to be able to keep up, and I just need something that doesn't have that same blackout that the R has. So that's kind of where I would be looking with that. But toys, right? So what are some toys that you guys are looking for? I have been wanting to buy the RF 135 F18, and I just haven't done it yet. I'm like really back and forth. I have the 135 F2, the EF model, and it works absolutely fine. There's no reason to get rid of it. I love actually the warm color representation that I get from every time I shoot with it. I just struggle spending $2,200 for that lens right now. I mean, I just don't need to, but I want to. It's all these toys. So something that I'm actually really doing right now is it's spring here in San Antonio, and so I'm doing some spring cleaning, and we cleaned out a lot of the garage, which is where my studio is. And what I noticed is with my studio, I have, like, as you pull into the garage, all my studio backdrops are at the back of the garage. So I would open the garage and shoot towards the back end of the garage. That's where my backdrops are and everything like that. And it works for the most part, but then sometimes it doesn't. So I just can't get back far enough. Sometimes I have to be outside of the garage shooting in, which, it's good and bad. Sometimes I have to, having the garage door open brings in more light. So one thing that I've really noticed, and we do have a 3-car garage, is with clearing out the stuff that we've been able to clear out, I might actually be able to turn the studio long ways. So that would be really cool. That would actually give me an extra probably 8 feet of space, which would be absolutely fantastic. So now what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, so maybe do I paint the wall black so I don't have to worry about a black curtain or black backdrop? Do I get like a curtain system for like a white, gray, and black so that I can just have those and then still have my pull down backdrops, and I don't have to waste space on white, grays, and blacks? I can have colors. So I would also like to figure out a way to get my hair light mounted to the ceiling so I don't have to have this C-stand up and up hanging over top of their head. It still worries me having it on their, or over their head. I would hate for it to fall, but that's kind of where I'm at right there. But again, toys, or tell me some of the stuff that you want. Tell me some of the stuff that you would like to have this year. Why do you want it? What do you think it'll actually be able to do for you? Are there any new lights? What about like RGB lights or anything like that? Is there anything that you want? And again, leave these in the comments, or tell me some topics that you would like me to cover either in the podcast or in the YouTube channel. I have no problem, if I can, talking about, whatever it is you ask. So please ask away. Give me some thoughts, what you would like to hear me discuss on the podcast or in the YouTube channel. I think that that's probably about it for this week. I knew this one would be a short one. Again, it's that unlucky number 13, right? So I don't want to be lingering too long on it. You never know. So thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate it. Thanks if you're subscribed to the channel, the YouTube channel, for following. More than likely, I will be very close to 10,000 very soon on the YouTube channel, and I should be trying to do a giveaway, so be aware of that. Be subscribed. Hit the little bell for notifications so that you can get notified when I'm doing that giveaway. And until next time, keep shooting.